Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another video. Today we have a honest review about Avowed. So, just to start this out with, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. You know what I mean? It's free support. We are close to 300 subscribers. I know it's not a lot for you, but for me, it means the world. So, you know what? Just drop that follow if you feel like it after watching the video. Anyways, we're talking about Avowed today, and I'm giving an honest review after playing for 53 hours plus and exploring the entire world of Avowed. There's some things to say. I don't want to say it's a lot, but I'm trying to make it as small and concise as possible. So with a lot of the drama for Avowed, it was mostly about it being compared to Skyrim. Now, Skyrim, big game, long time standing, a lot that goes into it, a lot of detail, a lot of little small minute things that people notice. I get that. Cool, sure, but this is Avowed. A lot of people are trying to make a comparison, and I know we do it a lot with we do it with a lot of other games, and we try and see what we can compare it to, because I mean that's the best way to kind of figure out whether a game is good or not. But for me personally, I tried to look at it as its own piece of art, its own piece, its own make, its own developer. Nothing compared. Now I understand that we take a lot of things from games that have already been successes that have already been cemented in history for gaming, etc. But for me, I tried to take Avowed as its own thing. Maybe call me petty because I finished the game at 53 hours. Maybe call me petty because I actually played the game and not actually purchased the game. First of all, I didn't even just sit there, play it through Xbox Game Pass to where I can just kind of put it down with no consequence. Or even using the Steam's 2-hour mark of whether you like the game or not and then returning it. So I actually played the game all the way through. Now, for me, if I was going to compare it to any game, and if I was going to compare it to Skyrim, it's like, what's the best way to say it? It's like if Skyrim is riding a dragon bareback through a lightning storm, Avowed is more like riding a tricycle with a seatbelt and arm pads and helmet and shin guards and even wearing like steel boots. It's literally kind of like if you were going to be put in bubble wrap. And that's how I feel. The game is kind of like a lot more simple, it's a lot more simple, but it's more palatable for me personally. Being a person that doesn't play Skyrim games, doesn't play like Oblivion, doesn't play Skyrim, doesn't play Skyrim Online or anything like that. Like I've tried playing those games and I feel like they were more extensive, especially for a new player, because you know the whole stealing mechanic, the whole consequence mechanic, a lot of consequences for things that you do. So for me, this was easier to play because it was like Skyrim on training wheels, though visually more advanced, I would say, especially for a new time of 2025 as opposed to when it came out, which I don't remember. I'll probably put that somewhere on the screen if I can. Yeah, I would say it's visually stunning. There's no question about that. The art design, it kind of pulls you in. The magic system is really, really fun, genuine. It's really fun to experiment with because they do allow you to kind of use your abilities in the atmosphere. So like, let's just say there's water. If you have ice magic, you can actually use that to step on, or you can use that to freeze things. I think that's actually really, really dope. The combat itself feels solid. It's very responsive. It's rewarding. I kill things. I shut it down, whether it's magic or a physical weapon, because I did use a spear and shield. And I got that distance, being able to hit from a distance without people getting close. But I also got that shield because it was dope. It was easy. And the more I upgraded my shield, the better it was. Now, when it comes to the story, things get a little bit shaky for me. I don't feel like it was as conducive as I would have liked it to be. I just found the story to be pretty mid. I don't want to say it felt rushed, but it was more. I wish I had the words to say it. I just don't want the words to say without being a dick. It needed more meat and potatoes. I wanted to feel like my decisions actually mattered, because even talking to some other streamers, some other gamers, some other players, we all talked about the choices that we made, and we pretty much got to the same result of the end game, which is, it's all right, it's fine, whatever, doesn't matter. I just feel that it should be more of like The Witcher, where you make one decision and maybe characters aren't even available, like hard stance not available, not even wanting to talk to you. They have a hard stance towards your character, and it changes the storyline of how people approach you. Now, the ending for me, it felt a little bit flat. It just landed flat. I'll put it that way. It felt rushed. It was like really underwhelming. And honestly, I felt unsatisfied by how the game ended. I'm trying to do my best not to even spoil anything for you guys, but the ending just felt crappy to me, because what you thought was the climax of the game and like the all be all was not the all be all. It was like a prefix to the all be all. And even at the end of the game, the fights, the amount of motions and stuff like that was subpar to what you thought was the climax of the game. I know I'm saying climax a lot, whatever, giggity. Anyways, what you thought was the end of the game wasn't actually what it was, and those fights felt more important than the actual end of the game fights. And I don't like that about game. I don't like that about Avowed. I don't like that they did that. I don't understand why they would do that. And so I felt like my choices didn't matter because the end wasn't actually the end. What I fought for the whole entire game, or what the point was of the whole entire game, or even the mode to get to the end, didn't even matter, because there was still extra, and the extra was, I guess, uneventful. You know, I would say, I guess that's the best way to say it, is uneventful. Now, another thing that it was, you know, I'm not gonna say negative, it was just mid. The dialogue of the characters. Now, the dialogue with the party, it has its high and lows. Sometimes it felt like a one-trick pony, if I could say that. It's like the characters were stuck on repeating the same lines, the same themes, or the same emotions. You know what I mean? Like, there was no character development within the extra party members, and so it's like, yeah, there was conversations based on the ideas you had or the choices you make, but like, did it really affect how the game ran? No, of course not. It just gave you little dialogue hints, or positive or negatives, of how they felt. Like, oh, hey, you decided to spare this person. Well, why'd you do that? Two people would say, and the other person would be like, well, I agree with you on that. But it didn't actually have any effect on the game. It wasn't like, hey, you did this, so I won't be around, or you accepted this person's apology, so I find you to be absolutely repulsive and I'm leaving the party. It wasn't anything like that. I don't like that. It's like, if my decision actually matters, every decision should matter, whether the party either agrees with you or not. Mind you, even with like agreeing with a person or even disagreeing with a person, like, it doesn't give you any like romance cues or making them fall for you or making fall in love with you, like it would be Baldur's Gate, which is fine. It's fine, but it's just like, why would you give me options to make it seem like I care about you if that has no point in the game? I don't know. Anyways, moving on. At the end of the day, I mean, this game, if you don't play Skyrim, or if you don't play any of the Elder Scrolls games, Oblivion, etc., then you're going to find this game easy to understand. Now, for me personally, I feel like the dialogue was really weird, only because like, if you started dialogue on a weird angle, you would block the character completely. And they did this weird, like, what I don't even know what you would call it. It just this weird dialogue scheme where it's just like, you see the character in front of you and you start talking, blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't really dynamic. The characters in the world weren't actually active. It was more like you're only going to do stuff if I talk to you. Everything else, you're just going to stand around and do nothing. So the whole entire vibe of the game itself wasn't alive. And for me, being an RPG streamer, I need the whole world to be alive. I need to know why we're in here. I need to know, if I were to close my eyes and want to visualize being a part of this game, why don't I feel a part of this game? Like, should I? I should. Period. Point blank. Sorry to rant. Anyways, final thoughts. At the end of the day, Avowed, visually fantastic. Even if you play on lower settings, it is visually beautiful. Even the water is gorgeous. Rocks, sand, dust, all that stuff. But the world building itself, I feel it could have used more work. I understand that this series is based on another game, which is fine. But I think if they would have let this game cook in the oven a little bit more, it would have a little more sustenance to it. It's kind of like eating a steak undercooked. A little more time. That would require, I mean, that would literally benefit you. More juices, more steak, more meat, more sustenance, more feeling, more emotion. And this was just kind of like an undercooked steak where you're just like, I might get sick from this. Personally. But at the end of the day, I mean, it stumbles pretty hard when it comes to like the things that matter most. Story and emotional payoff. I don't feel like I got any emotional payoff. And usually I play games that give me that. And I didn't feel any of that. But at all, like in the end, game's beautiful. The magic is awesome. I literally would suggest playing Magic because it literally is more stunning, more beautiful, and I feel like it gives you more of a challenge, only because you do have to balance mana with everything else, and of course use a secondary use a secondary of something physical if you can, or just kind of like intermingle the two. Because I know personally for me, I did magic and the grimoire for one set, and I did the spear and shield for the other one. And so it gave me a little more perspective because I did use one skill or two skills from the physical point of view. But yes, but at the end of the day, like, is this game good? Cool. Yes, it is. It's fun. It's fantastic. I definitely wish more story, but I would say if it's on sale, keyword on sale, buy it, play it. Cool. But if you're going to buy this game full price, no, I would definitely say do not do that. As a score, kind of torn between a 6 and a 7. So I'm just going to say a 6.5 to 7. I mean, the magic was great. Visuals were great. Environments great. Storyline, mid. Ending, very mid. I was disappointed for sure. Now, do I think that if they decide to do some DLC, maybe they'll make it up? I don't know. I'm just not going to hold my breath. But I think the game overall, it's playable. It's a game that you can play. If you're looking for a story game before Skyrim or before Oblivion, by all means, this will get you settled and started on that, because it's going to be training wheels without all the penalties of Skyrim or Oblivion. Example, stealing or making rash decisions that kind of change the outlook of your character. But I think overall the game is decent. It's all right. It's not bad. Anyways, that's my honest review, and I really do hope that you enjoyed it. If you would like to, please leave a like, follow, subscribe. We're almost to 300 subscribers. I mean, it's not the biggest goal for some people, but it's a goal for me. So if you want to help a brother out, but do some things. You know what I'm saying? But I'll check you guys in the next one. Peace.